Good day, swellies. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to show you how I do hot pot at home. I found this particular Szechuan peppercorn hot pot broth starter. Because the grocery store was giving it away for free, I decided I'd try it out with you on camera. As you can see, there is a fair bit of solidified palm oil on top, approximately ½ an inch. The remaining bottom half of the block is seasonings and bay leaf and salt. But according to the directions, we are supposed to put 1.5 kilograms of water, which comes up to be about 6 cups of water. But as you can see, the directions come in both Chinese and English, so that's very helpful. There is a broad bean sauce, lots of Szechuan peppercorn. I am a fan of MSG. There's ginger, garlic, pretty complete seasoning package. If you've ever gone to hot pot at a restaurant, my husband and I, we would go and they would give us an option, kind of like a yin and yang hot pot on the table, where he was allowed to get something non-spicy, like simple broth, and I would always choose a spicy one. Getting the spicy one was the one I couldn't make at home, so I felt like it was a little bit of a special occasion for me to order it at the restaurant, even though halfway through the meal I'd just be sweating and sneezing from all the spice. These are my favorite noodles. They are a thicker type of noodle. Sweet potato noodle threads. They're generally just slightly translucent noodles. And this is another brand that comes semi-hydrated. They're a bit more flexible than the first noodles that I showed you, but they are very much similar. They're just sweet potato bean thread noodles. I believe this more flexible noodle actually gives you less bang for the buck, because per ounce you're just paying for slightly hydrated noodles, whereas the first kind was completely dry. And this is what it looks like after cooking for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna fish around for some of the already cooked items. This kombucha pumpkin is my absolute favorite pumpkin. It is so creamy. I got little bits of cabbage in there, some noodles. You can easily put in thinly sliced beef or chicken or pork or lamb. Lamb especially is very popular in northern China. Or just use whatever vegetables you have at home. Although the color of the broth is extremely fiery red, it isn't as spicy as you think it would be. Because of the Szechuan peppercorns in the broth, you get more of a numbing, tingly sensation on your lips and your tongue, which a lot of people are addicted to. And that's what the noodles look like in my noodles and veggie dish. Since the broth gives you so much hot pot broth, I was able to use the broth for the next day's hot pot. Small disclaimer, this chili oil hot pot broth always gives me tummy troubles. Just a little FYI. If you're sensitive to lots of chili peppers in your food, you might want to either dilute the broth with more water or maybe go with just a regular chicken broth with a couple of garlic and ginger slices. These are my favorite tofu. I love fried tofu blocks. They're like sponges that just absorbs all of that beautiful broth, that beautiful chili oil. And once again, the thick noodles, they're so fun to slurp up. Doesn't that steamy soup look so delicious? And it's so fun when you're having hot pot with friends and family. You kind of just poking around for whatever mysterious food item you put in there earlier. So I put my shrimp in last because they really just take, 5 minutes. I hate overdone shrimp. I like plump shrimp. Oftentimes when you're just like throwing a whole mass of food in your hot pot, you kind of can't keep track of everything, so you get these pleasant surprises throughout the meal, like, oh yeah, I put that piece of shrimp in there. There it is. And it always turns out delicious. Like, I've never had a bad experience where something is overdone. Just everything's wonderful all of the time. And certainly who you go with makes a big difference too. If they're having fun, you're having fun. They're good vibes. It's a good experience. Doesn't that look so good? These puff rice snacks are so delicious in hot pot. They look like Rice Krispie treats, but they actually are like a savory puff rice that absorbs the broth. So I'm going to do my best to kind of smush it in so that it can absorb a bit of broth and it still remains crispy, but it's slightly soggy. And that's my favorite combination of food. Next, I'm going to show you my cold noodle dish with my favorite seasoning, crab paste. Swellies, you and I are good friends at this point, so I'm going to show you my slightly disorganized noodle stash. We're on good terms. I think this is a huge milestone in our relationship, and I'm gonna assume that judgment will be held back. I'm gonna be using sweet potato glass noodles, which boil up very quickly in only about 8 minutes. And this crab paste is so delicious. Vietnamese people use this crab paste in something called bông rui. So good. And it just has so much crab flavor. The slight bits of chili, garlic, and I'm gonna put in some sliced cucumbers. You don't need to cook the crab paste. It's just, you could add it to soup, but it's just wonderful, just like tossed on top of soup, tossed on top of noodles, topped on top of rice, or as you can see, veggies. And if you haven't had crab paste on noodles, you have to run out and go get this. It's one of those like secret flavors that people are like, huh, where's that depth of flavor coming from? So of course I'm going to put my herbs, some cilantro, green onions. Watch out for your fingers. I wouldn't suggest that you try this at home, not unless you like your fingers. Especially not while you're filming and looking away. These bamboo shoots. Oh, how do you say that in French? Let's see. Chili bamboo puce. Chili bamboo push. Shoots, push. Anyways, these pickled bamboo shoots are so yummy as a side dish. Slightly crunchy, but the chili oil is what I come back to time and time again. There's that like little bit of like slick oil unctuousness that stays on your lips after you eat these pickled bamboo. I just give this a toss. Look at how it glistens. Guys, I know you want to dive into this. What are you waiting for? Go to your Asian grocery store and find this already. So I toss in little soy sauce, sesame seeds, and you can find the crab paste where you would find like hoisin sauce, where you would find like chili paste. It's in like the dry food aisle, the glass jar area. And there are like canned versions of it. I just got the jar so I could like, close the lid and put it back in the fridge when I'm done with it. So delicious. I'm giving you all my secrets, guys, because we are that close. We are that cool. Bon appetit! There's my baby. So I'm going to show you my Chayote Squash recipe. And this is a common vegetable used by Mexicans too. Use this like sauteed, but obviously is seasoned differently. So you have to remove the seeds in the center. The skin is edible. You don't have to peel it. And I'm going to slice it thin, but you could cube it as well and put it in the oven. But I like to just throw everything in my pot on the stove. I slice it thin so that it can cook quickly because I got dinner on the table in under 30 minutes. Hey, shout out to Rachel Ray. With a little bit of canola oil, I put the Chayote Squash into the pot with soy sauce and fish sauce. And it cooks in about 20 minutes. Here and there, I check on it and stir the pot so that everything gets cooked well. And these are full of vitamins, full of fiber, has a really nice texture, really pleasant with freshly cooked white rice. You won't regret it. Take care, Swallies. Bye-bye.